The 24th number of the book of Psalms. I want to begin reading this evening in verse number 7. Say amen when you got it. Amen. The text says, "Our soul is escaped as a bird out of the snare of the fowler. The snare is broken and we are escaped." Verse 8, "Our help is in the name of the Lord, who made heaven and earth." This is the word of God. You are the people of God. You may be seated in the presence of the Lord. Touch the person next to you, and if your neighbor doesn't look to me, look your neighbor in the eye and simply tell a neighbor, all of my help comes from the Lord. If you believe it, give him a hand of praise in the house tonight. Allow me, if you will, to embark upon the message this evening by seeking to elevate and to lift the heart, the mind, the countenance, and the spirit of every person in the room, and every person, every individual under the sound of my voice this evening. As I do so, let me ease into the message this evening by simply suggesting that as we look at the implications of this particular text, I have to declare that I'm happy, overjoyed, ecstatic, enthusiastic to have the opportunity to announce that each and every one of us who are here this evening, we need to know and we need to understand that there is no thought that is more encouraging, comforting, uplifting than to know beyond the shadow of a doubt that all of our help comes from the Lord. According to what the psalmist says in the text, our help is in the name of the Lord. As we listen to what the psalmist is saying in the text with ears to hear what the Spirit is saying to the church, I just believe we need to understand the fact that as we hear the words of the psalmist echoing in our spirit, we really need to embrace these words as words of triumph and as words of victorious faith, because the good news of this text tonight is no matter what we have to deal with, no matter what we have to go through, and no matter what we have to face or encounter in our lives, I need you to know we can make it through any given situation, because no matter what comes our way, we know, we believe, and we understand the fact that we are always under divine guardianship. And I wonder if you know that all day and all night the angels are watching over you and me. I believe that may be the very reason why the songwriter is able to declare in Psalms 20 verse number 7, some trust in chariots and some trust in horses, but our trust is in the name of the Lord. Tonight, I just wonder if there's anybody in the house this evening who can lift your hand and declare, my trust is in the name of the Lord. My trust is in the power and the providence of God. And the reason why our trust should be in the power and the providence of God is because God's power and God's providence is always at work in our favor. And I just believe that ought to be good news for somebody in the room tonight to know that God's power and God's providence is always at work in our lives. And I suggest at all times and in all conditions, the prop of our faith is knowing that God's providence and God's power is always at work in our lives. Therefore, the premise of this particular text is that in any situation we might find ourselves in, we can rejoice in the midst of it, and we can give God praise simply because we understand that all of our help comes from the Lord. I need you to bump your neighbor and tell him, neighbor, you need to know that all of our help comes from the Lord. According to the text, God is a present helper. God is a willing helper. God is a loving helper. God is a tender helper. God is a helper who never fails. God is an everlasting helper. God is a helper who is greater than our troubles. Somebody ought to lift your hand and say it like you mean it. Thank God need to get on somebody's street when I tell you one thing I know for sure tonight is God is greater than our troubles. He is greater than our worries. He is greater than our difficulties. He is greater than our problems. He is greater than our burdens. He is greater than our setbacks. He is greater than our predicaments. He is greater than our obstacle. And he is greater than our pain. And he is able to ease our pain. But I think I told you before, he has joy for every sorrow, peace for every storm, supply for every need, victory for every battle, a solution for every problem, forgiveness for every sin, tenderness for every tear, compassion for every complaint, healing for every sickness, blessing for every burden, deliverance for every distress, and gladness for every ounce of sadness. Is there anybody in the room tonight who knows how great our God really is? The psalmist says, great is the Lord, and he is greatly to be praised. And if you're here tonight and you really do know how great our God really is, I dare you to take a moment and give him some praise right now. This is ultimately what the psalmist does in the text. In the text, the psalmist is giving God praise because he had never abandoned them. He's giving God praise because he had enabled them to escape their enemies. He's giving God praise because he had delivered them from the devices of their enemies that were literally compared to both teeth and the snare of the fowler. And so the psalmist comes to the profound realization that after all God has brought us through, he is worthy to be praised. He understands that because their escape from impending defeat and destruction was due to the fact that God had delivered them and that God was on their side. So he moves to declare our help is in the name of the Lord. Now, what we need to understand about this psalm is the fact that in reality it is a psalm of ascent or a pilgrim song, and it was used to be sung by God's people as they approached Jerusalem for one of the three major worship festivals, which suggests to us that they sang this song as they made their way to the temple. And I just wonder tonight, is there anybody in the house whom God has been good to? I wonder if there's anybody who can just wave your hand and say, God has been good to me. He's been good to me. He's done great, wonderful, marvelous, miraculous, and magnificent things in my life. Is there anybody in here who has a song in your heart? Is there anybody in here who, like the songwriter, you can recall how good God has been to you, and you can acknowledge God's protection and provision in your life, and because of all that God has done for you, you literally have a song in your heart. All right, well, let me help you out with a couple of songs. How about this one? Nobody but you, Lord. Nobody but you. Nobody but you, Lord. Nobody but you. When I was in trouble, you came to my rescue. Nobody but you, Lord. Nobody but you. All right, let me go old school. Here's one. Through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. Is there anybody who can just wave your hand and say, grace has brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me on. Another song is this one. I've been through the storm and rain, but I made it. I had some heartache and some pain, but I made it. I was sick as I could be, but I made it. All of my friends walked out on me, but I made it. I was down to my last time. Somebody just wave your hand and shout hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus. I made it. All right, here's another song. I am a living testimony. Could have been dead and gone, but Lord, you let me live on. I am a living testimony, and I thank the Lord I'm still alive. I've seen miracle after miracle performed in my life. You kept having mercy on me. I didn't even deserve to be alive. When I faced dangers I couldn't street in a minute. Here's another song. If it had not been the Lord who was on my side, where would I be? What did he do for you? You ought to look at your neighbor and tell him he kept my enemies away. He let the sun shine through a cloudy day. He rocked me in the cradle of his arms when he knew I was battered, bruised, and scarred. If it had not been the Lord on my side, where would I be? All I'm trying to tell you is somebody in here ought to have a song in your heart. And you ought not wait until you get into the sanctuary to sing your song. But just like David, just like the psalmist in the text and the children of Israel, every time you think about how good God has been to you, you ought to sing your song. This note of praise and singing is what flows through this particular song to remind us all that our help is in the name of the Lord. And I tell you, everybody in the room tonight, we all ought to be clapping our hands and we all ought to be rejoicing because we can put all of our faith, hope, trust, and confidence in the God of our salvation. And the reason why we can put all of our faith, hope, trust, and confidence in God is simply because God has disclosed to all of us his amazing grace. And therefore the good news is we always have ready access to God. I'm moving on, but is there anybody in here that knows the effectual and fervent prayers of the righteous availeth much? Can I just say it like the mothers of our church say it? Thank God we can call him in the morning. We can call him in the noonday. We can call him in the evening time. And we can call him late in the midnight hour. And the good news of this text is when you call on his holy name, then you have the opportunity to find out that his name reveals his person. And God's person is the sure foundation of our confidence. His person is the sure foundation of our strength to remind us that God is able to secure us in our time of trouble. I tell you something, God is able to protect us from the bombardments of this life. God is able to strengthen us when we've been depleted of our strength. God is able to prop us when the burdens of life weigh us down. And ultimately, this ought to be good news for somebody, God is able to keep us from falling. Is there just one person who can lift your hand and say, one thing I know for sure is my help is in the name of the Lord. Look at what the psalmist does. He pits danger, problems, troubles, trials, and tribulations against the power of God. And as he does so, he ultimately comes to the conclusion that danger, problems, troubles, trials, and tribulations literally drown in the presence of Almighty God. Because is there anybody here who knows God has all power in heaven and earth in his hand? God is the author of our deliverances, and the premise of his argument is that our help is in the name of the Lord. So what we need to see here as he makes this declaration, first of all, is the accessibility of his name. The fact of the matter is sometimes when we're in trouble, when we're in distress, and when we're bombarded by the vicissitudes of life, when life becomes seemingly unbearable, when we're down and we can't get up, the reality is sometimes those we need to help us are nowhere to be found. Is there anybody in here who's ever been in a situation where you felt like you were all alone? Anybody ever been in a situation where you felt like you were all by yourself in the midst of what you were going through? You felt just like the songwriter who said, I woke up this morning feeling kind of down. I called on my best friend, but she could not be found. But thank God I called on Jesus. My life he can hold. Somebody lift your hand and say, I'd rather have Jesus than silver and gold. Good news of this text is the fact that we have access to the name of God. Thank God that in any given situation, when mama is not there, when daddy is not there, when friends and relatives are not there, when loved ones are not there, somebody ought to be rejoicing because you know we can call upon the name question, won't he hear your cry? All right, let me just throw this in. Is anybody here that knows the effectual and fervent prayers of the righteous availeth much? If you really know it, clap your hands. And if we call on him, Psalm 40 says he will incline his ear, he will hear our cry, he will bring us up also out of the horrible pit and out of the miry clay and set our feet upon the rock, establish our going. He'll put a new song in our mouth. Many shall see it and fear, and they shall trust in the Lord. Somebody ought to lift your hand and say, I know for sure that God will hear and answer your prayers. Let me say, because God has heard your cry, because God has heard your prayers, because God has moved on your behalf. I'm not speaking to everybody in the room. I just need to tell you, this sermon is not for everybody. This message tonight is only for those in the room whom God has been good to. If everybody. It's only for those who God has brought you up, brought you out, and brought you through. It's only for those who, in the midst of your darkness, God stepped in and he made a way out of nowhere. And if you recognize just how good God has been to you, somebody ought to be able to say, I gotta praise, and I gotta let it out. I gotta praise. That reminded of the story of the young college student who was just about at the end of his rope as it related to the money in his bank account. The only way he could continue, Sister Shirley Walton, to go to school and get his education in, he had to continue to pay his tuition. Well, with very little money in the bank, the young man decided he's just going to pray, trust God, and submit a check for his tuition, even though he knew he didn't have enough money in the bank. Well, after a few days of praying and trusting in God and believing God would make a way somehow, he notices that he's never contacted by the finance office about them receiving a bounce check for his tuition. Before long, his curiosity overwhelmed him to the degree that he contacts the finance office and inquires as it relates to the status of his tuition. The story is that the finance office told the young man, your tuition is paid in full. The young man, in a state of confusion, he asked the finance office, how is it that my tuition is paid in full when I know I didn't have enough money in the bank to cover my tuition check? The financial secretary responded to the young man by saying, we know you didn't have enough money in your account to cover your check for your tuition, but what you didn't know is that your account is attached to your daddy's account. And so whatever you couldn't pay for yourself, it came out of your daddy's account, and therefore your account is paid in full. Is there anybody in the house who can lift your hand and declare there have been some times in my life when the circumstances of my life had me in a position where my back was up against the wall and I felt like I didn't have what I needed to make it through? But you ought to look at your neighbor and tell them, neighbor, thank God that my account is attached to my daddy's account. And when my back was against the wall, when I was broken and weak and weary and wounded and sad, when I thought I was going to make it, I was covered and I made it through because my account is attached to my daddy's account. When I was in trouble, guess what? God stepped in. When I was burdened, God stepped in. When I felt like I wasn't going to make it, God stepped in. When I thought I was going to lose my mind, God stepped in. When my life was turned upside down, God stepped in. When I felt like I couldn't go any further, when I felt like I couldn't take another step, let me get on somebody's street. When I felt like giving up, somebody will lift your hand and say, God stepped in. And when God stepped in, guess what he did? He made a way out of no way. He opened doors that had been closed in my face. He prepared a table for me in the presence of my enemies and my haters. He fought my battles. He supplied my needs. He gave me the strength that I need. He stepped in and displayed for me that my help is in the name of the Lord. getting ready to get out of here. Thank God for the accessibility of his name and the fact that we can call him up and tell him what we want. But not only do we see the accessibility of his name, but as we look at what the psalmist says to us, we also see the authority of his name. And let me get ready to leave you here by saying the confidence that's placed in the Lord in the text is in reality founded upon two things. Number one, is founded upon past deliverances. And I've discovered that our past deliverances remind us of the authority of God's name. And as we have called on his name in the past, then we have the assurance that even though we have to go through and deal with afflictions in this life, we can rest assured that there's no diminution to the power of God and the ableness of God. And therefore we can rejoice over the fact that if God did it before, do I have any witnesses in the house today who know he can? I said he can do it again. Let me tell you why. Because he's the same yesterday, he's the same today, and he's the same forevermore. If he did it before, he can do it again. And it's all because of the authority of his name. In other words, what we need to understand here is that the name of God is in fact God himself, because God's character and attributes are wrapped up in his name. And so, as I get ready to leave you, do you mind if I just take a moment and call the roll and share with you just a few names of God? He's Jehovah Jireh, the great God that provides. He's Jehovah Nissi, the banner over our head. He's Jehovah Shalom, the great God of peace. He's Jehovah Rapha, the Lord our healer. He's Elohim, our creator, strong and mighty. He's El Shaddai, God Almighty. He's Adonai, the Lord our master. He's Jehovah God all by himself. He's Jehovah Tiskanu, the Lord our righteousness. He's Jehovah Rahi, which means the Lord is our shepherd. He's God all by him. Catch this. The psalmist makes it personal because he said, our help is in the name of the Lord. And I just wonder if there's anybody in the house tonight who's had enough experiences with God that you're in a position where you can make it personal. I dare you to grab your neighbor by the hand and say, neighbor, let me tell you who he is to me. He's my healer. He's my deliverer. He's my strength. He's my comforter. He's my company keeper. He's the restorer of my soul. He's my heavenly father. He's my refuge. He's my impenetrable head. He's my fortress. He's the one who I put all of my trust. He's an awesome God, the giver of every good and perfect gift. And he is the God who's able to do exceeding and abundantly above all we can ever ask or think, according to his power that is at work in our lives. He is the one that somebody declares in the text, our help is in the name of the Lord. What we need to understand here is the fact that the authority of his name appears in his word. That's why when we're going through trials, we can hold on to the word of God. And we can be reminded of the word of the Apostle Paul in Romans 8 and 38 and 31. What shall we then say to these things? If God be for us, who can be against us? We can hold on to Romans 8 and 38. But Paul said, I'm persuaded that nothing, neither death, nor life, nor angel, nor power, nor principality, nor things present, nor things to come, nor height, nor depth, nor any other creature shall be able to separate us from the love of God which is in Christ Jesus. All right, let me get everybody on board. Romans 8 and 28. For we know that all things work together for good to them that love God and are called according to his purpose. Touch your neighbor and tell them all of my help is in the name of the Lord. And so not only do we see the accessibility of his name, not only do we see in the text the authority of his name, but thank God that we also see in the text the ability of his name. And I got to tell you, we all ought to be rejoicing right now, because the second reason that the psalmist places total confidence in the Lord is the fact that his confidence is founded upon the divine omnipotence of God. In the text, he signifies the fact that God is universe. He is the one who made heaven and earth. He is the one who created the heaven and created the earth and put it all in divine order. He's the same God that made the world, and the psalmist says he is our help in time of trouble. The psalmist says here that our creator is in fact our preserver, and he is immensely great in his creating power and his creative work. And we need to know tonight that he's also immensely great in his keeping power and his ability to deliver us from the bombardments of this life. The psalmist says here, as long as we can see before us the world, which is the supreme monument of the power of God, we should never be discouraged, because we know that God is able to keep us in times of distress. And the reason why he is the one who made the world with no tools. He is the one who arched up the heavens and dug down the seas. He is the one who dug the world and created the world out of nothing. He is the one who hung the stars in their silvery sockets and filled the lamps of the stars with everlasting oil and allowed them to lay across the boundless bosom of the universe. He is the one who pushed up the high mountains and pushed down the low valleys. He is the one who created the sun, the moon, and gave the sun the command to rise in the day and the moon the order to shine at night. He is the one who created the rivers and the ocean and the expanses of the universe. He is the one who created winter, summer, spring, and fall. Is there anybody here that knows he is the one who created the earth? But I can't leave till I tell you, he is the one who gave us Jesus. We ought to celebrate tonight, because one Friday evening they marched him up a hill called Calvary. He died from the 6th to the 9th hour. He died until the earth began to shake. He died until darkness came at noonday. He died until the veil in the temple rent in twain. He died until the centurion soldier said, "Surely this is the Son of God." They took him down and placed him in the tomb, stayed in the grave all night Friday night, stayed in the grave all day Saturday, stayed in the grave all night Saturday. But I said, he got up with all power, and because he lives, I can say all of my help is in the name of the Lord. Slip your arm around somebody and tell them, neighbor, I got good news for you. All of our help, all of our help, all of our help is in the name of the Lord. So be not dismayed, whatever betide, God will, God will, God will, God will.